Hello students, today we are going to study the second chapter, and that from that second chapter, that is the first point is the discrete time Fourier transform, that is DTFT. Introduction. The DTFT is a frequency domain representation for a wide range of both finite and infinite length discrete time signal x of n. So DTFT is one of the frequency domain representation for the finite and infinite length of the time signal, discrete time signal x of n. DTFT is denoted by x of e raised to j omega, which shows that the frequency dependence always includes the complex exponential function j omega. So DTFT is indicated by x of e raised to j omega, and it indicates the frequency dependence always includes the complex exponential function j omega. The operation of the thinking of Fourier transform signal will become common tool for the analyzing the signal and the system in the frequency domain. The application of the DTFT is usually called Fourier transform or Fourier analysis or a spectrum analysis or going into the Fourier domain or frequency domain. So DTFT is always or also called as a FT, that is a Fourier transform or Fourier analysis, and it is going into the Fourier domain or frequency domain. Thus, the word spectrum, Fourier, and the frequency domain representation become equivalent even though each one retains its own distinct character. So DTFT is nothing but the frequency domain representation for finite and infinite discrete time signal x of n. It is always denoted as a x of e raised to j omega, which shows the complex exponential function of the j omega. Operation of the FT is the common tool for analyzing the system in the frequency domain. DTFT is always called as a FT, or FT is nothing but the DTFT, and it is going into the Fourier domain or frequency domain, and thus word the spectrum, Fourier and frequency domain are the all equivalent even though each retains its own distinct character. Discrete time Fourier transform representation of dt aperiodic signal. So dt, that is a Fourier transform or a spectrum of x of n, is represented as a x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation of n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n. So this is the formula for the DTFT. DTFT is represented by x of e raised to j omega, that is equal to n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to j omega. So we can build the definition for the DTFT, which is Fourier spectrum or frequency spectrum of x of e raised to j omega, that is the summation of the all terms of x of n into its complex exponential, that is e raised to minus j omega n. And the x of n can be recovered back by taking the inverse Fourier transform. So from this equation you can take out the x of n as the inverse Fourier transform, which is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration over the 2 pi x of e raised to j omega, this is the your DTFT term, into the e raised to j omega n. So in this equation, the for the ft there is a negative complex exponential, and ift, so there is a positive complex exponential. So these are the two formula for the calculation of the DTFT and its inverse DTFT. So remember these two formulas for the while solving the problems. The DTFT for the aperiodic signals, that is the two above equation, are referred as the analysis equation and the synthesis equation. The first equation is the analysis equation, and second one equation is the synthesis equation, and we can represent the notation, that is x of e raised to j omega is equal to Fourier transform of the x of n. So this is the analysis equation, and inverse of the DTFT is x of n is equal to inverse of ft x of e raised to j omega. So this is called as a synthesis equation. So this first equation represents the analysis equation and this equation represents the synthesis equation. So x of n and x of e raised to j omega form a Fourier transform pair denoted by x of n transform to x of e raised to j omega by taking the Fourier transform, and if you take the inverse Fourier transform of x of e raised to j omega you will get the x of n. So this is the representation of the DTFT. So the first, again I repeating, the first equation is called as the analysis equation and second equation is called as the synthesis equation. The main difference from the CTFT, that is a continuous time Fourier transform. So the first difference is x of e raised to j omega, that is a DTFT is a periodic with the period 2 pi, and since e raised to minus j omega is a periodic in omega with the period of 2 pi. So DTFT is the periodic for the 2 pi and its complex exponential is periodic in the for the omega with the period of 2 pi. And as a result of above mentioned periodicity, the integration for the synthesis equation over a finite interval length will be the 2 pi. That is x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega, which is the DTFT of a discrete time signal x of n. As the Fourier transform, this x of e raised to j omega is also called as a spectrum, and its continuous function of the frequency parameter is called as omega. Nevertheless, the x of e raised to j omega is a periodic with the period 2 pi. So that is equal to x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega. That is equal to n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to j omega plus 2 pi kn into n. That is equal to x of e raised to j omega plus 2 pi 2k pi. So this is the, and it is for the k is any integer. So to convert the x of e raised to j omega to x of n, you use the inverse DTFT. That is x of n is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration over the period minus infinity pi to the pi x of e raised to j omega into e raised to positive j omega n d omega, which is obtained by putting the equation 1 into the above equation. So you will get the, so by comparing the both sides, so you will get the this equation, that is DTFT equation equal to 2x of n. So you will get the inverse of the DTFT. And the since, so for these kind of the these kind of the derivation you need pen and paper so that you can derive the all equation, remember the formulas and its properties, and depending upon the formulas and properties you are able to solve the different problems related to the DTFT or frequency spectrum analysis. So here we can note that since sine of n minus m pi divided by n minus m, that is sine of theta divided by sine theta pi divided by theta is equal to 0. That is if m is not equal to n. While m is equal to n, so you will get the interval 2 pi. Generally, or x of e raised to j omega is a generally complex. We can illustrate the x of e raised to j omega, that is magnitude and phase spectral. So if you take the mod of x of e raised to j omega, that is the magnitude of the DTFT, and angle x of e raised to j omega. So we can take the magnitude, that is the mod of x of e raised to j omega under root of real part square plus imaginary part square. That is under root of real part of x of e raised to j omega bracket square plus imaginary part of x of e raised to j omega bracket square, and the angle is tan inverse of imaginary part divided by real part. So these both are used to calculate the magnitude spectrum of signal as well as the phase spectrum of the signal, where both are the continuous in the frequency and periodic with the 2 pi period. So we can mention examples of the DTFT. Suppose determine the DTFT of h of n is equal to. So again I repeating that though you can use the pen and paper, so you can able to solve this example. Already the solutions are provided. Still you can use this pen and paper so you can manually calculate the all values of the DTFT. So this is the first example. Determine the DTFT of h of n is equal to a raised to n u of n, where mod of a is less than 1. So use the formulas of x of DTFT, that is x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity x of n into e raised to minus j omega. So here x of n is nothing but the a raised to n u of n. So u of n is nothing but the unit step function, and unit step signal can be start with the 0 to the infinity. So here I changed the signs, that is n is equal to 0 to infinity instead of minus infinity to infinity, and here the input signal is h of n. So the output will become DTFT of h of n will become h of e raised to j omega. So you keep these changes and understand this example. So summation n is equal to 0 to infinity. So you can use the index same. So that is a into e raised to minus j omega raised to n. So a raised to n, the summation is the 1 divided by 1 minus a into e raised to minus j omega. So you can take the magnitude of h of e raised to j omega, that is 1 divided by under root of 1 minus a cos square cos omega bracket square plus a sin omega bracket square, that is equal to 1 divided by under root 1 minus 2a cos omega plus a square. And you can plot the h of e raised to j omega for the a's values. So if you take the a value 0.5, you can show in the figure. So this is the magnitude plot of the h of e raised to j omega, where 1 divided by 1 minus a is equal to 2, and 1 divided by 1 plus a is equal to 2 by 3. If you take the a value 0.5, so h of e raised to j omega will become 1 divided by 1 minus a into e raised to minus j omega. Multiply and divided by this term, so you will get the h of e raised to j omega is 1 minus a into e raised to minus j omega divided by 1 minus 2a cos of omega plus a square. So that is 1 minus a into e raised to j omega, that is equal to 1 minus a into cos omega minus j a sin omega, and the angle will be tan inverse of imaginary part square divided by the real part square. So imaginary minus a sin omega divided by real part 1 minus a cos omega from this equation. So you will get the angle of the signal. Second example, determine the DTFT of rectangular pulses for x of n is equal to 1 for mod of n is less than n and it is 0 otherwise, using m is equal to n plus n. Then you can use the formula, that is x of e raised to j omega for summation n is equal to minus n to the n e raised to minus j omega n, because x of n is 1 for this value. So that is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to 2n, that is m is equal to n plus m, using m is equal to n plus m. So m is equal to 0 to 2m e raised to minus j omega, and here n is equal to m minus. So by using this the n will become m minus n. So you will get the e raised to j omega n into 1 minus e raised to minus j omega n into 2n plus 1 divided by 1 minus e raised to minus j omega n. By performing the multiplication, that is multiply e raised to j omega into the bracket, so you will get this term divided by 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. Split this term in this way, that is split this omega to with the omega by 2. So you will get the finally this term, so that is e raised to j omega into n plus 1 by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega into n plus 1 by 2 divided by e raised to j omega by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega by 2. So this is sine of theta. So that is 2j sine of omega plus n plus 1 by 2 divided by 2j sine omega by 2, that is equal to sine of, that is 2j sine of omega into n plus 1 by 2 divided by 2j sine of omega by 2. That is sine of omega into n plus 1 by 2 divided by sine omega by 2. So if you take the n is equal to 1, so x of e raised to j omega, you can put the n is equal to 1 in this equation. By solving this equation, you will get the 1 plus 2 cos of omega. And sketch for this, that is x of e raised to j omega for n is equal to 1. So you will get this figure and the magnitude of this x of e raised to j omega. Find the dt of t of x of n is equal to delta of n. So x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity delta of n e raised to minus j omega n. So delta of n is nothing but the impulse response and it is available for n is equal to 0 only. So that is e raised to minus j omega into 0 for n is equal to 0. So that is equal to 1. And this analogous to the example that the spectrum of the continuous time delta t has the unit amplitude at all frequency spectrum of delta n and also has unit amplitude at the all frequencies in minus pi to the pi. So find the dt of t of x of n is equal to u of n minus u of n minus n and plot the magnitude and phase spectra for the n is equal to 10. So use the formula again. X of e raised to j omega is equal to n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n, that is equal to n is equal to 0 to, because here the impulse signal unit step signal, so n will become n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 e raised to minus j omega n because the amplitude of unit step is 1. So put that values e raised to minus j omega into 0 into 1 minus e raised to minus j omega n divided by 1 minus e raised to minus j omega, that is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus j omega n divided by 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. So we can further express the e raised to j omega as it is. So multiply by this term, multiply and divide by this term to this term. So you will get e raised to minus j omega into n minus 1 divided by 2 into sine of omega n divided by 2 divided by sine of omega by 2. Doing this, so mod of x of e raised to j omega and angle of x of e raised to j omega can be written in closely forms. So this is the magnitude of x of e raised to j omega and this is phase of e raised to x of e raised to j omega. So this is the real and its phase is pi if it is negative while the phase is 0 if it is positive. So the as a result, sine of omega n divided by 2 divided by sine of omega by 2. So that is nothing but n into sinc of omega n divided by 2 pi divided by sinc of omega by 2 pi. The next one is the DTFT convergence issues. So there are many examples, but the limitations are by using the PPT. So you can use the above examples for as a tutorial, as well as I will post the questions for the first tutorial. So recalling the, so now we are going to turn with the DTFT convergence issues. So recall the synthesis and analysis equation, that is x of e raised to j omega summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n, and the synthesis equation is x of n is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration over the 2 pi x of e raised to j omega into e raised to j omega into d omega. So the equation number 4 is nothing but the analysis equation contains an infinite sum and it is sufficient condition to guarantee the convergence R. So x of n is absolutely summable, that is mod of a summation of minus infinity to infinity mod of x of n is less than infinity. So it is absolutely summable. So this is the first condition. Or x of n has a finite energy, that is summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity mod of x of n bracket square less than infinity. So there is a no convergence issue associated with the synthesis equation phi and since integral over the finite interval. For example, unlike CTFT, that is the continuous time Fourier transform, the case, the Gibbs phenomena is absent when equation number 5 is used. Thank you.